It's time to commemorate 76 years of Indonesian independence, and C Today received a golden opportunity to cover the special occasion following its appointment as the official host broadcaster for the event in collaboration with the Press Bureau of the Presidential Secretariat Office. Preparations began more than a month earlier, but today is the big day, and we departed to the Merdeka Palace from the studio 7 days earlier. We arrived at the presidential complex where we were strictly inspected. They specially requested our PCR results since everyone involved in the ceremony is required to have been fully vaccinated.
Di mana kita akan melakukan kegiatan besar.
The team kicked off preparations with tumpangan, a unique Indonesian tradition where we pray together and enjoy some traditional Javanese cuisines. On this occasion, our editor-in-chief reminded everyone to remain disciplined in implementing health protocols.
Pertama, maskernya harus dipakai dengan benar. Bapak punten, maskernya harus nutup sampai ke hidung. Terus maskernya harus double.
Right after that, we went to work on our first agenda of the day, setting up cameras and audio systems as well as the presidential stage. On the second day, we continued to set up more cameras and audio systems as well as live broadcast equipment. On day 3, our full team arrived at the location. The cameraman, audio man, lighting specialists, directors, and all supporting crew. Everyone was also required to have taken swab test. The next day, the camera and audio broadcast systems went active, and everyone was placed on standby in their respective positions. The day concluded with a joint evaluation and directions for the next day of preparations. For the next 3 days, intensive rehearsals were conducted.
Pasukan diistirahatkan.
Ceremonies commenced in compliance with strict health protocols, with very limited number of guests. The ceremony involved personnel from the Army, Navy, Air Force, and the Indonesian Police. Rehearsals were conducted intensively to ensure that the ceremony can commence impeccably on the big day.
Berdoa dimulai. Yuk.
This year, a giant flag was flown for the first time at the end of the ceremony. The flag was flown by several helicopters flying in formation, while a flypast was also conducted by the Indonesian Air Force. The 2 flights were done to demonstrate the formidable strength of the Indonesian Air Force. On the 5th day of preparations, we held our final rehearsal. On this occasion, C Today, which is a part of the Telkom Indonesia company, was visited by several of Telkom's high officials. They arrived to directly inspect our preparations to cover the 76th anniversary of Indonesian independence. Among those present was Mrs. Penusiana, the Director of Consumer Service for Telkom Indonesia.
Besar harapan saya dan juga Telkom Group kepada rekan-rekan semua untuk bisa mensukseskan event negara yang memang setiap tahun selalu ditunggu-tunggu dan menjadi harapan kita semua.
One day ahead of the ceremony, the entire crew took another PCR test and went on quarantine to ensure that everyone will be in peak condition. The day has come. Exactly today, 70 years ago, the first president of Indonesia read the text of proclamation. And thus, Indonesia was born as a new independent state in Southeast Asia.
Dari ketinggian 1000 kaki mengucapkan selamat ulang tahun Indonesia tangguh, Indonesia tumbuh. Salam suara bangsa.
The news of our independence initially took weeks to spread across the entire country. Spreading the news of our independence was challenging. It had to be spread through newspapers, radio, and even by word of mouth. But now, exactly 76 years later, we have been bestowed with a similar honor of broadcasting the proclamation of Indonesia's independence. The spirit of independence continues to flow in our blood, conveying the message and disseminates the spirit that Indonesia is ever resilient, Indonesia is ever growing.